Renu, it's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Well, thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
I think it's very gratifying for all of us here to see a fellow Indian hold such an important post as the President and the Chancellor of the University of Houston. I think it's very important to learn that when he took over as the Chancellor and President in 2008, University of Houston was still aiming to be among the top tier 1 of schools. As you said earlier, people were trying and there were some naysayers, it'll take you more than, a couple of decades, people have been trying it. So it's, first of all, congratulations on that achievement.
Thank you.
Next is we want to learn, what does it take for a college like University of Houston to come to tier 1?
So University of Houston is a public university. It's a large public university, and it's in the 4th largest city in the United States of America. First of all, you have to see what is the mission of the university. And I do believe that every great city must have an anchor, a great world-class tier 1 university. So when I took the position here, I realized that the university did not meet that standard, was not recognized as one. And no other universities, public university, large university is recognized as one. So we decided that that's going to be an important goal. But I do believe that great universities are built by great communities. And therefore, we just reached out to the city, to the region, to the community, and shared with them why it is important for the city to have a great public university that is tier 1. Once the city bought into that, we basically had to commit to doing things that truly will enhance the life in the city. It will improve the economy, it will improve the socio-economic condition, and it will connect with the strengths of the city. So basically, in order to build a tier 1 university, first of all, you must have excellence in research. Now, you can easily build excellence in research if you synchronize your efforts with the efforts and the strengths of the city. We have a strong energy presence in Houston. We have the world's largest medical facility here. We have Port, NASA here. We also have a great arts economy in Houston. We just decided those will be 4 strengths for us. We will work with the city and make sure that we are meeting the needs of the city and giving city its intellectual capacity. The second thing a tier 1 university needs is really to have high pool of talent, whether it's in terms of students or in terms of the faculty. We started recruiting faculty not just for the university, but the faculty who would love to come to Houston because Houston has so much else to offer. So we started packaging differently. And then in terms of students, we of course looked to make sure that we were competing against the best and going out and aggressively recruiting the very best talent. But in order to do all of that, you need money, you need resources. We are a public university. There's a limitation of how much a state will give. But we didn't allow that to be a constraint for us. So we decided if the goal is non-negotiable, which is to become a tier 1 university, first we have to make sure our own resources are being used very efficiently, which we did. We really turned our budget upside down. But then also, we go out to the community and make a passionate appeal, the cause, and show them the results. And when we did that, the city responded very, very well. Our alumni, our donors responded well. We used to raise about $40 million a year. And as a result of our appeal to being relevant, now we are raising over $100 million a year. So they responded, the research went well, the faculty responded. I mean, it just became a beautiful partnership and something that I thought would take 5 to 7 years. And people told me that you are just dreaming because 5 to 7 years is not enough. And we got that thing accomplished in 3 years.
On that note, I think the follow-up question for this is, the other important element nowadays most schools are trying to focus on is empowering the entrepreneurial ecosystem within the university. So you have the accelerator programs, you have the startup culture. So I wanted to learn from you how you are trying to empower the ecosystem for entrepreneurship.
So, we are very fortunate in Houston because Houston is a very entrepreneurial city. I mean, this place celebrates success. People are not jealous of success. And as a result of it, what we did, we looked in two different directions. One is we thought, do we have educational programs in entrepreneurship? And we built a very strong undergraduate program in entrepreneurship, the degree, and it ranks now #1 in the country. Then we also looked at entrepreneurship in terms of our faculty and students, what kind of research they were doing. I hired my Vice Chancellor, entitled being Vice Chancellor for Research and Technology Transfer. We took the technology and the inventions of our faculty that they had published, that they had licensed here, but they were not being used for anything. We aggressively went out and marketed them. We built partnership with venture capital firms. We built partnerships with investors outside, as well as with corporations within the city. And as a result, you know, we really did very well. We have now a place, incubator for startup companies, and we are right now, and we've just started this. I mean, generally, universities take 20 years before, you know, you can do this kind of thing in a great way. Well, in 4 years now that we have done our research park, we have 5 startup companies there. 2 of them are by students. And this is just the beginning. Our revenue, which is intellectual property revenue from our professors' technologies, is just you know, multiplying like anything, from less than $1 million a year. We are 17 million that we are making out of the inventions of our faculty. So I think you have to take a very comprehensive look at it, and absolutely you have to be willing to take risk, and you have to be willing to embrace new ideas that may seem totally crazy, totally out of the box, but have some faith, do a very thorough, serious analysis, and promote what seems to be the best.
I think when you look at the emerging economies around the world and the not so emerging economies, but the students and the young generation is all yearning to get hands on their education, right? And they want to reach out to big schools which they can't afford to. So a lot of other big schools are opening up some aspects of their education to the outside world. So I wanted to ask you how University of Houston is leveraging the MOOC project to empower in the other parts of the world.
So MOOC is one way of reaching out to the global world. The thing is, education is in demand globally. We think of ourselves as meeting the needs of the global customer. So we are right now ranked 17th, I believe we are 17th in the nation in terms of enrolling international students. We attract a lot of them, and we have built a number of partnerships, many with India. We have partnerships with IITs in India. We have partnership with University of Delhi. We have partnerships with petroleum institutes like Rajiv Gandhi Petroleum Institute, and we are able to build the partnerships where students can get 1 degree in India, 2nd degree in United States, and still save 1 year. So they save time and they save cost. So that's one way we are serving. The other way that we are serving here is through our online education, which doesn't have to be MOOCs, because MOOCs is a free courseware. And MOOCs have a lot of enrollment, but only about 10% people complete it. So we just look at online MOOCs for us to reach out and build partnership. Everything is a part of one comprehensive strategy, and the belief that we are here to look at the global demand, and we are here to look at the global strategy. So at this point, 25% of all our students who are enrolled here are actually taking online courses. We have we are just putting our subsea engineering, which is the only program of its kind in the whole country, and it's going online in January. So we're taking advantage of that, but education will change. Universities will change in next 10 years. There will be MOOCs, there will be other disruptive technologies. But at this point, as of this point, nobody has been able to come up with a financial model that supports and sustains MOOCs. Everybody is right now putting money from their own pocket, thinking that there are either other tangible benefits or the benefits might come one day. And we are in the same boat right now. So to what extent we increase that, to what extent we expand, and what extent we embrace it, it will just depend on on a number of factors that we don't know and others don't know, but we have the ability and the agility to be able to move with the market as the things change.
Talking about personally your accomplishment, your role model, a source of inspiration for many young people, what I'm trying to learn from you and empower the young generation is, there are a couple of elements. When I talk to women, and when I talk to Indian women especially, they say, well, there's no difference in this country, you know, as long as you have what it takes, you work hard, you dedicate yourself, you achieve. But again, when, you know, people who are from the Indian diaspora and women, they look up to you and say, wow, you know, what does it take to be another Anu Khator, or what is that is lacking in India and elsewhere that we could probably do better that we don't know yet, to have more people like you emerge?
I think first of all, it's a myth to think that things really truly are equal, because there is a glass ceiling, there's no doubt about it. But the difference is how you take those external constraints. I started my career with the belief that, okay, I've got some strikes against me, I'm a woman, I'm international, I have an accent. However, none of those would become a barrier for me. I know I have to work extra hard. I may have to work 10% harder to just simply prove that I am at the level as anybody else, just to be noticed. But you know, if that's the fact of life, I'm willing to work that harder. Now, Maya Angelou said always that external things will happen to you, but the difference is how you take them. Do you see yourself as a victim, or do you see yourself as getting power and even more fire in your belly from it? I have always tried to gain fire in my belly from the failures or from things that I didn't think were fair that were done to me, rather than feeling victimized. And I think that's what I would tell people, that do not live in a myth that everything is fair in life. You know, if it's not about gender, it could be just something totally different. And men face all kinds of difficult situations too. The important thing is, keep a vision and a dream in your eyes. Find passion for that cause that you have, because that passion will keep you going and not quit. And always remain humble to the people who have helped you gain anything in life, because nobody achieves anything alone. Nobody travels the life's journey alone. So as you keep moving, you're taking help of other people, and make sure that as you keep stepping up, you are pulling some more people behind you and getting them to be successful.
Thank you so much for the inspiration and the time. Again, appreciate it.
Certainly. Thank you. Appreciate it.